is the line on the pattern. This is the back of the sleeve. You know it's the back because it has 2 notches. Okay? It's also got a little curve so that you can bend. All right? So on the bottom of the sleeve, you're going out. I'm going to mark these marks on my sleeve itself, but I'm just going to draw it here so you see. At the bottom, go out 1/4 on either side of the line that's on the pattern. And have a nice sharp pencil when you're doing this. And at the top of the sleeve, at the horizontal mark, go out 1/16 on either side of the line. 1/4 at the bottom, 1/16 at the top. Draw the line. Connect the dots, the dot you just made. Again, with a nice sharp pencil, so you're allowing for the thickness of pencil. Okay? So I'm going to do the very same thing on my sleeve. Okay, using a chalk pencil, and again, it should be a nice sharp pencil. Mine's not so sharp. So. Okay, so on the back of the sleeve on the wrong side, go 1/4 to the right at the bottom edge, and 1/4 to the right at the 1/4 to the left of the line. Okay, and at the top, where you have the horizontal mark, go 1/16 to the right and left of the line, of the middle line. Okay, and then connect those dots, allowing for thickness of pencil point. Uh-oh, I moved. Don't move the ruler. Okay. Okay, I'm going with the darker one over here. I'm sorry about that. Change your stitch length to less than 2. So you're going to be about 15 stitches per inch. Okay? Again, I should have everybody who didn't see this before should be up here. So if you didn't see it before, all right? Is that true? Everybody who's sitting at the machine saw it? 100%. How about Nathan? Were you here? Nathan? Did you see this before?
I mean, not, but I figured that I'm too far behind.
Well, I'm only showing it this time, so up to you. Okay. All right, so you stitch now on the line you made, small stitch. But, no, on the outside lines. The outside lines that you drew. The middle line was already there. Stitch all the way up to the top. At the top, you make sure that you have your needle down. Needle down, pivot, and take exactly 2. 1, 2 stitches across the top, then pivot and come down to the bottom. Trim off. So you now have stitches that look like the line I drew on the pattern, right?
So we do 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/16, 1/16?
Yep. And then you slash on the middle all the way up to the very, very top, but not through it, but to it. It's got to be to it so that it can open all the way up to the top. You can't stop short of it. Okay? Got to be all the way there. Then you take, again, this is what we're making here, right? Then you take the little bias piece, the one that looks, the rectangle piece that doesn't have a name, that's the bias for the sleeve. Take it and place it right sides together. Match, leave a tail. You got plenty of length. Leave a good tail here. Match the cut edge of the sleeve to the edge of the bias. And your job here is to always keep the distance from the stay stitch that you just made to the edge of the bias is always 1/4. So you're moving the sleeve down and away from the edge of the bias. Sleeve down and away from the edge of the bias. Okay, the sleeve moves, the bias does not. Okay, and you're pinning, all right? Your pins are on the seam line, vertical pins. Has to be vertical pins here, because it acts like basting. As you get to the top, again, your big job here is keep it always a quarter. From the edge of the bias to the stitch is always a quarter of an inch. Okay? Then at the top, open out your sleeve and continue pinning down the other side. So again, it's always a quarter. At the top, add a little pin at the very, very most top. Out. Little tiny bite, and then continue down the other side. Okay, so again, the distance from the bias to the stay stitch is always a quarter. Okay, because the goal when you're done is that this, your stitch is even on the bias side of things, and so that the bias will be even when you're all done. Okay. So again, all the way. You could baste here, but I like the pins better, honestly. Okay. If I look on this side, it should look flat and smooth. I shouldn't see any bubbles or pleats or weird stuff. If you do, fix your pinning. Okay, it should be nice and flat and smooth. And you should see the distance from the pin to the edge of the bias is the same, top to bottom. Okay? With me? Okay, I have every step on the board also.